Welcome back to Be the Good with Kate, the show that inspires each of us to see how we have the power to make a difference all around us. Each episode highlights an individual doing good in the world while following their passions, good for their own souls and for others. I get so excited about sharing each and every episode of Be the Good with you, and I hope you enjoy these people and stories. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are returning, thank you so much for your support. I'm so glad you found Be the Good with Kate and would love to hear from you. If you're finding value in these episodes, I invite you to share with someone who could also use this dose of good news, or tag me on social with your favorite quote from the episode. Every share, subscriber, review, and comment helps me to share these guests' wonderful work to more people. Thank you for your help in this. Now, on to this week's episode. Let's spread a little more goodness in the world.
Today on Be the Good with Kate, I have Cathy Nesbitt, who is a health and wellness advocate. She's founder of Cathy's Crawley Composters, which was established in 2002, Cathy's Sprouters, and Cathy's Laughter Club. She's a multi-award winning environmental innovator who uses workshops and inspirational speaking to motivate people to live a more sustainable life. Cathy is a certified laughter yoga teacher, appointed laughter ambassador in 2017 by the founder of Laughter Yoga. Cathy is also an avid cyclist and gardener. And I have to tell you, you could feel her energy through all of her email communications throughout these past months. So I'm so excited to have her on the show. Cathy, thanks for being here.
Kate, I'm excited.
And if you are watching this on YouTube, you can see the excitement in her face. If you're listening, I'm sure you're hearing it as well. But Cathy, please fill in the gaps. Tell everybody a bit more about who you are and what you do in your own words.
Nope, you summed it up at the end. No.
Oh, I'm sure there's more. You can fill in there.
You know, it's the 21st anniversary of Cathy's Crawley Composters. 21 years selling worms by the pound for indoor composting. And it blows my mind when I think about it. I'm just like, wow, what was I thinking way back when?
Well, please do expand on that a little bit more, because I'm sure for a lot of people, they just said, wait, what? Selling worms? So please do share more.
Right. So now it's all about laughter and worms too, but the laughter saved my worm business. So I'm located in Canada, in just north of Toronto, largest city in the country. And in 2002, our landfill closed. And although Canada, pretty large country, we couldn't find a place to site a new landfill. And we started to export our garbage to the US. Oops, sorry, 1,000 trucks a week. Like, it's huge. It's
Wow.
A massive, huge problem. And I'm an avid gardener and composter. And somehow this is why I was put on earth. I believe that I was put on earth to talk about worms because I was afraid of worms. I went through a whole journey about, befriending the worms. It took a while for me to warm up to the worms. So anyone listening there, if you're like, ew, it's about a 3-year sales cycle when people are introduced for the first time. And then they're like, okay, I've been thinking about it. And I'm ready now. And so that's a long cycle for business. And so I really believe that I'm also an entrepreneur, although I didn't know I was an entrepreneur. Okay, I was 20 years as a secretary because I thought that was my lot in life. And just for a reference, I turned 60 last year. So when I grew up, women could be 5 things, mm-hmm. Right? Secretary, teacher, stewardess, waitress, and secretary. Nurse. Did I say nurse? Thank you, nurse. Yes, of course, nurse. And so I chose secretary, and I took all those courses, and I was a great secretary. And I did well, but I got bored and I changed jobs all the time. So then I found, anyway, the worms. So in 93, I'm going too far back. So 6 million people in the Greater Toronto area, half live in condos, townhouses without space to do outdoor composting. Okay. And so what I'm advocating for is indoor composting with worms for places without outdoor space. Or even if you have a house and you want the beautiful black gold. So that's what I realized, was that the worms convert the food scraps and paper in a container. So they're contained, they're special worms. It's aerobic, meaning with oxygen. I'm just talking about all the objections that people have so we can get that out of the way and get on with the goodness.
That's important details, yeah, to hear about.
Right. So the worms stay in the bin because they're eating the stuff and they're converting. They're the original alchemists. They turn all of this kind of garbage into black gold. So we can grow more nutrient rich food. And we don't have to truck the stuff around. We're doing it on site with the worms in the house, in the apartment, in the school, wherever we have food waste and paper, we can turn that into soil, compost. It's plant food. Oh, so we call it garbage. So it's garbage. Right? Wow. So I didn't know that people didn't want what I had. I just saw a problem and I had a solution.
Yeah.
So, things came into place and I started a business, and I would have a table wherever I could have a table to educate people. And then I realized, oh, people are afraid of worms, as was I before I started my business. I had an experience. And then, wow. And I started to do research. And, so this was a beautiful way. The worms turn this garbage into gold. And I realized early on that gardeners wanted what I had. They knew the value of the compost. Anyway, I started to do school workshops, and it was about 2012, 10 years into my worm business. One more person said, ew, worms in the house. And I heard it, Kate. I don't know. Before that, I was like, no, this is important. You must have it. And I wasn't aware that they didn't want what I had. So I just I don't know. I just bulldozed through somehow and I managed. It's amazing. Looking back, I'm like, wow, I don't know how I did it. I don't know what I did, but here I am all this time later. Because I think when you're on purpose, things just not magically, I worked.
Yeah.
But that, you meet people or things, an email comes in your way, you see something. So that's what happened with my journey. Yeah. So then 2012, one more person, I was like, it hit my heart. And I was like, I questioned everything. Why do I care? Why doesn't anyone else?
It's just so funny, like the parallels into every industry with that. How you said it was kind of that blind confidence when you started of, I have a passion, this is my purpose, so it's gonna work out. I mean, that was me coming to New York at 22 to be a performer. I love this is my passion, so we're just going. And it's funny to look back, and for me it was like, oh wow, these auditions were so weak, like I didn't know what I was doing, et cetera, et cetera. But I was able to succeed because it was still that confidence, that passion. I was following my purpose for sure. And you grow along the way. But then at some point, something starts to get into your brain to say, like you said, that one person was the one that made you go, well, gosh, you know what? I thought that what I was doing. And so keep going, please, because now I'm sure this then brought on the next great step of the path.
Yeah, I seem to go in 10-year cycles.
There you go.
So 2012. So then I was I was questioning everything, and I thought, I should just get a job. Like it would be way easier. I don't have repeat customers with the worms. I was doing workshops. I speak a lot because I realized that people didn't understand what the purpose of the worms were. But here they are right beneath our feet, kind of literally. And figuratively. So the very next day I was introduced to laughter yoga, and I was like, laughter yoga, what's that? And it's literally just laughing. It's laughing as an exercise, laughing for the health of it. And the yoga part is the deep diaphragmatic breathing. So there is deep breathing, because when you're laughing, you're exhaling, ha, ha, ha.
Yes.
Right? At some point, in order to continue ha-haing, you have to inhale. And then so you can continue ha-haing. And what it does is, so many magnificent things. Like it saved my business. It saved my worm business and has enhanced my life to another level. I was living like I've always had like being the one on the outside doing different things than other people. That's always been my way. I didn't understand always towing the line. It didn't make sense to me. Why would I do what everyone's doing? That doesn't sound like that much fun. I don't want to do that necessarily. So I've always, but since the worms and then now the laughter has freed me up. So once you learn laughter and you laugh every day and you do it as part of your health plan, then you become laughter, and then you are laughter. I am laughter now. And so everything I do, laughter is just part of that. And it's a high vibration energy. It's just an energy. And it's not for everybody. And it was interesting. I was on a podcast and with a young man, and we were having this amazing chat about laughter's the best medicine. And I laugh when I talk. Ha ha, hoo hoo. I just like, it's just part of my lexicon now. I just, I'm doing my laughter yoga, I guess. and he said, he found my energy jarring. And I thanked him because I said, wow, nobody's ever said that, but I bet you're not the first one. Because I'm very high energy. I am like, ooh, watch out. I'm way up here. I hope you're buckled in. You might flow away with me, my energy. But he said, once we were talking about the science of the laughter, which I'll talk about in a moment, because it's powerful when you're like, oh, I knew I felt good, but I didn't know why after laughing. Okay. So I said, wow, thank you. So he said, when you explained, the science behind it, oh, I get it. And he said, now I can appreciate, it's not so jarring now. I understand it now. Wow. Okay. So the laughter. Oh, have you ever heard that laughter is the best medicine?
100%. Absolutely. And I know it's great for your core. It's great for your breathing. There's just so much.
And as a performer, right? Yeah. All of those things. So we need to be in peak performance if we're an athlete, or anybody to be in peak performance. We need all of these things. And I attend a lot of summits, and there was one day, it's about resilience, the Global Resilience Summit. And oh my gosh, everyone's talking about resilience, and I'm really understanding stress and how that is the opposite of laughter. Stress is the opposite of laughter. And stress is this word that's bandied about, but we don't really I have stress, I'm really stressed. And we say that, so then if you are saying that and you are living that, become laughter instead. Not that I don't ever get stressed, but I have mechanisms. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after you've had an episode of something, anything that caused you to secrete cortisol and adrenaline. So the laughter. So our brain, you talked about breath, the brain requires 25% more oxygen than the rest of the body as an operating principle. So when we're stressed, like always, we're not breathing properly, our body's not getting what it needs. For sure, our brain isn't. And everybody's lost their keys, phone, glasses where they're flopping around. In that state, you'll never find what you're looking for. Your brain is literally being deprived of oxygen. Again, back to the ha-haing. Laughter forces us to inhale deeply and get rid of all of that old excess carbon dioxide that's floating around. It's kind of, we're breathing, I think it's like 25-75. So we breathe in like 25%. 75% is that old air because we're shallow breathers. 75%, it's like this toxic air. No wonder we don't feel well. Right. So the laughter pushes, like our lungs get all squished and our diaphragm squishes everything out. It's internal jogging and we feel great. Like whenever we have a great belly laugh with our friends, I hope you remember, people. If you don't, go have a good belly laugh. Yes. And that's what a laughter club will do. So let's talk about laughter yoga for a second, because it's a really a wonderful magic thing. It's not doing yoga and laughing. It's laughing. So anybody can do it. You can do it seated. If you're not able to, if you're in bed, you can't get out of bed, you're not well, you can do it from your bed. How wonderful. You can go to a club. So I prefer standing because we're sitting a lot. So if you're able to stand, you stand. It's, again, the deep diaphragmatic breathing. There's clapping and chanting, and the clapping, you're clapping palm to palm to activate the meridians. And it's a rhythm, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then it's ho, ho, ha 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 are the words. And I thought that was silly at the beginning. When I first was introduced, I was like, this is kind of funny. I'm not sure I like that. But what it does, it programs our brain. So so for the people that are really serious, I laugh easy. I'm natural, and now I am laughter. So it's much easier now. But this primes our brain like the Pavlovic response. When we go ho ho ha ha ha, our brain says, woo, happy time. And we start secreting the love drugs, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Yes, have you had your daily dose? Yup. Every time we smile, we start sending those notes to the brain. So we can trick our brain, right? Our brain's there. It's really smart, but sometimes too smart, always trying to think our way out of stuff. We need to feel our way out.
I always love that tip too for people, if you don't feel like smiling, just force yourself to smile, because like you said, it does trick the brain into starting that positive response. So this is now taking it to a whole other level, which is fantastic.
Right? Exactly. Yes. Just be it and you become it. There's a wonderful film that I would love everybody to check out. I think it was from 2018, maybe one of the Hot Docs films. Maybe that's a Canadian festival. Anyway, it's a film, a short, or what do you call it? Indie film festival. Yeah. It's called You Are What You Act. And they talk about Tom Cruise in that film about how he saved people in real life from burning buildings, and what he's done heroic things for real, because he does his own stunts. So he has that in his DNA. So then they talk about people acting a role for depression. Like, you're an actor, so I'm sure you can relate to the story. If you're acting something for a role, you become that. So you're depressed for 6 months. At the end of that film, now you're depressed. You need to take action to get out of depression, right? Talk therapy or do something. Wow. So I don't have a cell phone. Not that I know they're here and everyone has them. It's just part of my brand, my eco brand. But so with cell phones, when you're on your cell phone, you actually have candy cane next. So you're sending a mixed message to yourself. Your body has the physiology of depression, but you're looking at something funny. Someone sent you a funny message. So you're like, ha ha ha, you're laughing. It's kind of like, so you're secreting love drugs, but you're also secreting the stress hormones.
Because of our body positioning, looking forward and down.
Because of our body, our physiology. Yeah. So somebody listening maybe is going to invent, we have a selfie stick, so we look good when we're taking pictures. We can, since we're on our phones so much, please, somebody come up with something, because that neck, right? Our little neck, our head is heavy, like pain in the neck and backache, our spine our system is so beautiful. I've taken a deep dive into why is laughter the best medicine over this cuckoo time. I started my laughter club, before 2020. I said to the universe, I don't want to have a free laughter club. I do enough for free. So I just want paid gigs. So you get what you ask for. And I kept getting paid gigs, going into long-term care, working with special needs, schools, corporate, doing team building. So beautiful. Kate, wow, imagine making people laugh and feel great and then laughing all the way to the bank. Beautiful. Like, right? And I'm doing my craft, so I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
Wow, what a life. And then COVID, right? Okay, shut down, longest lockdown, rivaling Australia and Canada for longest lockdown. It was not nice, and it wasn't nice anywhere. And the remnants are still here. There's still a lot of people struggling. We had a global mental health crisis before. It's bigger now. There's way more people struggling. Everybody's struggling on even those with techniques. I have a lot of tools, and there's still moments where I'm like, what's happening?
Oh yeah.
Right. So, I have a psychology degree, and I'm always fascinated by people and wondering which demographic has been most affected during this cuckoo time. There's no answer. It's rhetorical kind of question, if that's the right word. because everybody's struggling, and there's some people are more than others. And again, the resilience, how resilient are we?
Absolutely.
So that we have fluid in our body called blood that's pumped by our heart. We have another fluid called lymphatic fluid. Lymph only moves when we move. And I was so surprised to learn that we have 3 times the amount of lymph on our body, lymphatic fluid, than blood. I don't hear anyone talking about like studying lymphatic fluid. It's our drainage system. It takes away the toxins. We got to move. Before we used to move a lot, and now we don't. And I'm not just talking since computers, like, since television and cars.
100%. Most of the listeners know I'm in the fitness world too. And that is just constantly like, just move. Movement is medicine. Move. Yeah.
We got to move. So that's where now tapping, people have probably heard of emotional freedom technique and lymphatic drainage and just tapping on your body. And so laughter is one of those tools that we can use. Nothing for everybody. Some people come to a laughter club and they're like, I didn't like it. I would say if somebody has not experienced laughter yoga, plan to come twice, because every time we do something new, it can be awkward. Like a new job is like, oh, I'm scared. I don't know what's happening. Or you're meeting your in-laws for the first time, or anything new is, no, it's the unknown. So of course it's awkward. The brain wants to keep us safe. It doesn't want new things. Stop it. It knows what to do when it experiences things. So don't give it something new, because now what? Oh, it's stretching the neurons. Yoop. Right? Beautiful. That's what we want. So come twice, and then you'll really. The first time I went to a laughter yoga club, what happened? So 2012, I was introduced to laughter yoga. I was, wow, that's cool. That same week, I was at a business networking event, hundreds of people. The very first woman I met was a laughter yoga teacher. 2012. I was like, wow. I said to her, laughter yoga is mainstream, like twice in 1 week. Come on. That's pretty apparent. And she said, no, it isn't. So laughter yoga was, don't think I talked about it. It was started in 1995 by a medical doctor. 1995, medical doctor, and his goal is world peace. And there's 120 countries now doing laughter yoga. And Kate, I truly believe that this movement, it's a movement, was started in 1995 by a medical doctor. So there's science. So that it could spread across the country, across the globe, so that we could be ready for 2020. Because we're ready now. You can laugh 24/7 online, free clubs around the world. You don't need language. You just follow along. You just do little games. You're laughing, you're looking, you're in gallery view. So you're looking at each other playing. You use your camera, you do little games. It's super duper fun. And you end. So there's deep breathing exercises, you're clapping, chanting, and then you end with a beautiful laughter meditation. And it's not, focusing on your thoughts and, oh no, why aren't my thoughts stopping? Because you're alive. That's why. If they stop, you're dead. So you don't really want that. But laughter yoga is not, or laughter meditation is a dynamic meditation. So you just laugh. So you just continue. So when you come to a laughter club, you start breathing, you're laughing. It may be simulated at the beginning, right? Where it's not jokes or comedy. You're not telling jokes because you don't want to be in your head. You want to be in your body. So you're just laughing, haha, because the instructor's saying, okay, laugh, ha ha ha. And you're laughing, ha ha ha, making the ha ha, ho ho sounds. And then it becomes real. And then at a certain point, you are laughing. And so the laughter meditation is like a fountain. It's like just this free flowing sound that is coming out of all the people. And then at a certain point, it's over. Or is it? Maybe it's just a lull. And then it's like, ha, hoo, ha. And people are catching their breath. And then somebody thinks it's funny again. Yeah. And then it burbles up again. You've been at a party like in person. I can say there's nothing that matches the bliss that you can get to during an in-person laughter yoga meditation where you're laying on the ground, it's called bullseye laughter. Your heads are all facing in. You're laying on your back. You've all laughed for a half an hour, an hour. So you're all connected. You all feel great. And then you're on your back. Nobody's can look at you, right? You have your eyes open or closed, whatever you want to do. And you just start laughing. And you're all laughing. And then you're laughing full on. It's real because you can feel the vibrations. You're just in it. Just enjoy this blissful moment, because we expel a lot. It's a cardiovascular, right? So imagine you're doing this beautiful exercise, and it's just like this magic moment where you're just like fully present. Your cells are having a party, and those effects will last for hours. They last for hours.
And then for people that don't have a place to go close by, I know you have a weekly, right, laughter class that they can take online, correct?
Yes, absolutely. It's every Tuesday. So yeah, every Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern on Zoom, 30 minutes, super fun self-care. And I do incorporate tapping, brain gym, Qigong, like other healing modalities. My goal is for people to get out of stress and into joy, at least for that 30 minutes. And I give all kinds of tips and tricks for sleeping better, for just feeling better. And we come and we connect with this laughter family. And I just recently, have you heard about mirror neurons? Have you heard of mirror neurons?
No.
So mirror neurons, wow, they were discovered in 1995, same year as laughter yoga. Very interesting. Have you ever noticed when you smile at somebody, some random stranger on the street, that they smile back?
Of course.
Mirror neurons. Have you ever noticed that when somebody's crying, you feel sad too?
Mm-hmm.
Mirror neurons. Emotions translate. So it's something in our brain. I just heard about it, and I'm like, oh, if you want to be happy, folks, hang around happy people. Mirror neurons. Right? So if you're living with people that are grumpy, you're going to become grumpy. Mirror neurons. It's not your fault. It's your mirror neurons. And that's all I can say for now. That's all I know. But I can say I've experienced this, and I'm like, oh, I'm thrilled about this. Right? Wow. With NLP, I think you know about an NLP, right? Mirror neurons. It's part of that. And it's like, oh, yay. So just more science behind this laughter thing. Do it. Just do it. We don't need to know, but if you need to know, now you know.
Yeah. It's just like good news moment after good news moment. I can't wait. Listeners, if you go and take Cathy's online laughter yoga, like please write to me. Let me know how it is. I'm going to have to join on one of these Tuesdays that I can pop in. That's just so wonderful. Hey, Cathy, I ask everybody, are there any mantras or sayings that help get you through during the challenging times? I mean, maybe for you, it's taking a laughter yoga session or something like that. But are there any things that you've really hung on to, especially when it's gotten challenging over the recent years?
Yes, my favorite expression is, I have a couple. Without awareness, action is impossible. And it had to do with my worm business. Like if you didn't know about having worms in the house, then you're not doing it.
Right.
That's bad for business. You're not calling me. So that's my first one. And the second one is, it's no for sure unless you ask. Yes. Don't assume things. They're going to say no.
Right.
Don't
Nothing
assume.
would have
you don't
ever
know.
gotten done if we all assumed no, right? Nothing big in this world would have ever gotten done.
It's no for sure unless you ask. And I chose media as my marketing strategy, and somebody had put my name forward to the morning news in another town. So, 6:00 in the morning, I needed to be there, which meant that I would need to leave my house very early to get there through the Toronto rush hour traffic. So I was kind of dreading that piece, but I was excited about being on the news. Someone said to me, why don't you ask them if they have a car to pick you up? And I was like as if, right? The chatter in my brain, right? As if. Anyway, the day before the interview, they called to confirm that I was coming. So that little voice in my head, the person's voice was like, ask them if they have a car. And I was like, no, why me? Who am I? And then I was like, I mustered up I'm sure my voice squeaked like someone going through puberty. You don't happen to have a car, do you? I'm sure it didn't sound very confident, but anyway, she said, oh, let me check. She put me on hold and she said, the car's available. They'll be there at 5 a.m. or whatever time. And so a limousine came and picked me up. I was like, wow, confirmation that it's no for sure unless you ask.
The amount of people I hear just talk themselves into this box because they're too scared to ask. I mean, I hear it every day. Just ask. You never know. Great
We
advice.
only have our own experience. That's why we can't think that, wow, like I was like, wow, why would they come and pick me up? Like, who am I? Some little girl in Bradford, why would they come and pick me up? Why not me? If not me, who? That's exactly. We have to be more of that, and not to be, mean or rude or just me. No, it's like me. And then when like to go with the theme of your show, when we feel good, we do good. And when we do good, the planet benefits. Everybody benefits when we feel good.
Absolutely. Okay. So going along with that, last question for you. If someone came to you because they see all that you've done and said, I want to make a difference in other people's lives, but I feel overwhelmed, I don't know where to start, is there any advice you'd give them?
Yes, I would say make sure that you're taking time for you, because when you're feeling overwhelmed with everything, just pick one thing. I would say if you're feeling overwhelmed with yourself, go help somebody else. That's really hard advice because people are like, I'm so busy. But when we help somebody that needs us more than we, when we help somebody else, we really do. It does lift us up and we may get clarity. I would say get still. We need to get still and listen to what it is that our heart really wants.
Absolutely. Wonderful advice. Cathy, I can't wait to learn even more about laughter yoga. And please tell everyone, this will be in the show notes as well, but tell everyone where they can find you online.
Go to my laughter page. It's cathysclub.com. Everything's there. It's Cathy with a C.
Excellent. Cathy, thank you so much for your time and just your light. Oh my gosh, what a delight it's been to talk with you today.
Kate, thank you. I'm so grateful for the opportunity.
After 2 years of this wonderful labor of love, I will need to add in some sponsors to help the show grow and help these guests' incredible stories get out there to inspire more people. So I wanted to give you the heads up, and if you know a business of any size who would be interested in collaborating and aligns with our mission here, feel free to send them my way. Many thanks. In taking classes over the years or observing workout videos, one major piece that is often missing: stressing safety and form. Additionally, group fitness classes are often marketed as being open to all levels, yet how often do instructors not give modifications nor progressions so that each participant truly can get what he or she needs out of the class? So that's why I created the 101 series, which take things back to basics with 3 separate courses: Bar 101, Pilates 101, and HIIT 101, focusing on safety and efficiency so you can maximize your workouts. Be confident when you step into a group fitness class or workout on your own. Be strong in your execution of the most common exercises, and be proud of yourself for taking these huge steps forward on your health journey. Check it out at bebykate.com. The link is in the show notes. Thanks so much for listening to Be the Good with Kate Chericello. Whether you're listening on YouTube or via podcast, it would mean the world if you liked, subscribed, and or left a review. You heard about the good? Now go out and be the good in your life this week. If you have stories of good news that need to be shared, please send me a message. Thanks again, and have a great week.